Yes, here we go. It's a Tuesday morning in the Spice Isle under sunny skies. A very good morning to you, my dear friends. I'm George Grant, thanking you for joining us for today's edition of Gudday Grenada, our little weekday rendezvous every morning at 9 o'clock. Seems like everything I do starts at 9 o'clock. Sunday mornings with George Grant starts at 9 to 12. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We also start at 9 o'clock, huh? The only time I seem to do anything different is a little bit on Thursday nights. Yeah, speaking about Thursday nights. Another session coming our way Thursday. We chat with the usual suspects. Yeah. Love that session. If you haven't had a chance to join us for one of those, I suggest that you try and find the time to do so before too long. Fun program, fun, not just informative, but a lot of fun. We really get off. The usual suspects, Jerry, George, usually in St. Vincent. This guy, he gets around, let me tell you. He gets around. Jerry in St. Vincent. Beverly, sometimes she's off there in Jamaica, but generally she's here in Grenada with us. I'm here in the studio. Then you've got Catherine Edwards out there in London, England. She joins us, we all get together on Zoom. That's a little software package, very similar to what most people are more familiar with, something called Skype. Hey, nowadays you're using WhatsApp, you're using Messenger and FaceTime and a whole bunch of things. I'm not that tech savvy, so I stick with the basics. I almost forgot Margaret. Margaret's one of our regulars, and she is based in New York. And I have to be honest with you, Margaret's not going to be joining us tomorrow night. Margaret had a little accident early on Sunday morning. Now, yesterday, I mentioned to you that I would not tell you the details about that accident because it's kind of hilarious. And I've decided I'm going to wait until tomorrow night when we all get together as a team, the team of suspects. And that's when we're going to talk about it, okay? Yeah, Margaret, we're not laughing at your accident. We certainly hope you're mending beautifully. At least you don't have to worry about the freezing temperatures you guys have been having up there for the past little while, eh? But hope you're on the mend. And she's going to be on the road tomorrow, actually, despite her accident. So she's not going to be joining us tomorrow night. Get well. Pilgrims, here they come. Here they come. Veronica Sandy is saying good morning, and as always, sending her blessings to us. Can't do without those. And TF is also on there this morning. Hello, family. Pilgrims, this morning, what sort of mischief are we going to get into? Yeah. First of all, we're going to bring our good buddy back, Anthony. Anthony's going to be back with us this morning. And not going to go into the details, but he's going to get a little bit emotional this morning. And I thought we'd do something just, off the cuff, a little bit different. So we'll hear from Anthony this morning. And of course, we do have the national report for you. We'll hear what the guys down at the GIS, the Government Information Service, have to tell us this morning. Always look forward to that, because I'm sure that there's always something in there that sort of sparks a little activity in those of you who are watching or listening to us wherever. So yeah, we have the GIS report. Now, the good news, Ray is going to be back. It's a Tuesday morning. Why not? Ray is going to be back. And I am delighted to say to you that I heard from him yesterday. And not only is he going to be back on this Tuesday morning, the man's coming in and he's actually, I've got his chair all set up for him. Yeah, man. He's going to be here with us in person. And look, I will wager with you he's going to be talking cricket. Huh? I will bet my bottom buck he's going to have something to say about cricket. May have a couple other surprises up his sleeve, but just you wait. Ray is going to be talking cricket this morning. So, there goes your rundown for this morning. Now, time to get down to brass tacks on this Independence Week. Can you believe it? Independence is what, 2 days away? Tomorrow and, Thursday. Independence. Have you got your colors all ready to go? That's one time of the year you really see patriotism, I guess, at its best. A lot of people do try to wear their colors. And I haven't been around the country, but I can tell you that, and not just in villages, but even the main arteries around the country, a lot of people decorate their surroundings, whether it's the house or the garden or the yard or their business places, wherever. People usually deck off the place in red, green, and yellow, even though I've been told that that color that looks yellowish in the flag is supposed to be gold. Okay? In Grenada, it's yellow tooey. Okay? So yeah. Okay. I mentioned to you that Anthony is going to get a little bit emotional this morning. And I wasn't kidding. I really, really wasn't kidding. He's going to do a little piece this morning which is captioned, "Only the Good Lord Knows." Thank you, Anthony. Take a listen.
Life, we never know. Only the good Lord knows. She was the spirit of optimism, a gush of enthusiasm. It bubbled within. I saw the gleam in her eyes as she spoke of her dreams. Once again, she intended to inhale the fresh sea breeze that caressed her face while she was growing up in Grenada. She looked forward to the sight of the rain bathing the hillside. And yes, she thought of the heavy drops upon the rooftop, the familiar song of rain that cascaded her off to dreamland. She envisaged the day when she would once again sit on a chair in the veranda and watch the yachts rock gently on the water. She looked forward to the wake-up call of the falcock and the sight of the yard fowl and ground dove walking below the soursop and the mango trees. She spoke about reuniting with old school friends the good Lord had not yet summoned. She wanted to reconnect with those who remember Easter Water Parade, Carifta Expo 69, Talanta Float, Bamboo Bar, Blanco Beach Club at the time, the Evans and Frenchy store were destroyed by fire in St. George's. Ah, she remembered the wonderful netball games that she played. Life was hope. Life was joy. Life was also a dream, a future dream, uncertain. Life was a blessing she intended to enjoy in her homeland after years of toil in the United States. She wanted to enjoy the benefits of her labor. She loved life, and she thought of Grandin's Beach and Blanco Beach and all the wonderful beaches for that soothing dip. But life was also in the hands of her Creator, and no one can foretell with absolute accuracy when the final tick would come, when the bell will sound. Last week, her friends and family looked on. They looked at her for the very last time. She lay peacefully in a church in Brooklyn. And then the lid came down. The lid came down and they sang, "In the sweet by and by we shall meet on that beautiful shore." Life, only the good Lord knows. So when you meet a cherished friend, seize the time to smile. For in this life, there is no guarantee that friend again you'll see. Like leaves that fall from autumn trees and the flowers that disappear. The friends we know will all depart. The lights that warm our hearts. Good friends that warm our hearts. Anthony Wendell DeRiggs. Life we do not know.
I told you. Hello. Remember to turn on your mic, George. I told you. Anthony got a little bit emotional this morning. And by the way, I'm sitting here taking a look, and I see that he's on Facebook with us this morning. Anthony, thank you so much, my dear friend. Thank you so much. I keep saying this. I really have a great admiration for the work that you do, and sometimes I wonder how you do it. I know that you're now retired, huh? That's great. Great admiration for you. Um, and when I grow up, I want to be like you, man. Something I doubt whether I will ever accomplish is to have the sort of memory that you do. It's astounding. Yes, the pieces that you provide us with here, and not just us, but everybody on Facebook, they bring back a lot of memories. But I have to admit to you, and I think I've said this before, I do not have the best of memories in the world. I tend to forget a lot of things. But a joke that I often make with a lot of people, I may have met you on the street last week and can't remember your name, okay? Yet, something that's so vivid to me is the night of Hurricane Janet. Hmm? I can tell you everything that happened on the night of Hurricane Janet, where my family. We all gathered around the table at dinner time to have our din din. The windows breaking. Um, and me as a little child having this really, really vivid imagination. That year, 55, I was what? Yeah, 4 years old. And as a kid, you hear people talk about the eye of the storm. Hmm? And 4 years old, I mean, what does a kid really know about the eye of a storm? And I remember having this very, very vivid imagination as I sat there at the dinner table, looking across the table at the window on the side of the wall there. I saw this huge eye. Yeah, the eye of the storm. It was coming to get me, man. That big eye. I'll never, ever, ever forget that. Never. So yeah, stuff like that I could remember. And then when I listen to the pieces that Anthony does, brings back a lot of memories. The old time saying, the old time utensils and stuff like that we used, and the way we used to eat and all of that. Thanks a lot, Anthony. Those are things we should never, ever forget. And thanks for keeping them in our memory. Taking a look here at Facebook for just a wee bit, I see that Grenada Sunshine is saying good morning to you folks. Well, hello there, Grenada Sunshine. Thank you for joining us. And by the way, Anthony, Veronica Sandy likes your stuff, man. She says here, good stuff from Anthony. Enjoy it. Yeah, a lot of us do. Lincoln Roberts. Hello there, Lincoln. You still missing your sister? Lincoln is saying good day to you all. Have a blessed day every day. Yeah, man. Yeah. By the way, I think she's going to be in here tomorrow. Sitting there. Sharon. Who else? Rodney Wade is also online with us there on Facebook. And Glenn Andrew Mark is hoping that you all have a good day. Thank you, Glenn. Let's see here. Anthony, here's a note from Anthony. Anthony says, good morning, George. The day Grenada will celebrate its 45th independence anniversary will be 3 years since my wife passed away. Yeah, I remember that. And I remember, Anthony, what you went through. Hit you hard, didn't it? But boy, you have proven just how strong you are. They don't make them like you anymore, do they? He went through a tough time, but we're thankful that he's pulled through and he's moved on with his life. And now he's become a blessing to those of us who have the pleasure of sharing his poetry. Not just on this program, because I'm just grabbing bits and pieces of that stuff here, but he is pretty much every day he's on Facebook. He's on Facebook and sharing with the world. Anthony boy, let's keep on trucking. I don't know, but maybe one of these days we'll make the world a better place. I am optimistic. And Grenada Sunshine is urging you, Mr. Anthony, to hold strong. Indeed. Please, sir, hold strong. Okay? It's now 20 minutes after the hour. And by the way, for those of you in the cruise industry, I've seen one boat down there this morning. It's a cruise ship. A boat, beg your pardon. The Azura is in port this morning. She has, or supposedly has, just about 3,600 on her. That's excluding the crew. It's always fun when on a cruise day. You can, if you walk the streets of St. George, the crew, you can spot them. these kids, they're not paid very well on the cruise ships, okay? They're not. And when they pull into a port like Grenada, these are kids who live under very extenuating circumstances. A lot of them come from the Philippines and a lot of these Asian countries. And you see them either sitting on the side of the road or in the mall somewhere with their little smartphones, keeping in touch with family back at home. Yeah. When I worked on the Rum Runner years ago, I met a lot of these kids. And they will tell you that it's not an easy life. But for a lot of them, it's one way to help support their families. The little bit they get, send it back home to mom and dad, brothers, sisters, cousins, auntie, uncle, whoever. Yeah, they work hard to support their families. Okay. Celia Maria Flanders has now joined us on Facebook. And so, hey, Sharon, put on your makeup, girl. Looking forward to tomorrow morning. Yeah, Sharon's going to be with us here tomorrow morning. Yeah, can't wait. Okay, let me take our first little break here, and then we're going to come back with the National Report.
Together with you, our customers, we energize our community.
Together with you, we energize our economy.
We are working together to give our nation a better tomorrow.
With you, we energize our future. Together, we energize our nation.
Thank you for partnering with us as we energize our Speyside.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Grenadian General Insurance Company, strength and stability. Grenadian General Insurance Company, tell your friends, tell your family. We cover householders comprehensive, motor and even fire too. Contractors all risk burglary, public liability, professional indemnity, directors liability, and wait, we still have more. Come and find out more what you're waiting for.
We are located on Scott Street, St. George's. For more information, call 440-2434.
Tell everybody.
Labukan Creative Center, in association with Spice Basket, presents Mayhem in Paradise.
All the time I man you complaining I never had a steady job. Now I get an opportunity to get a permanent one. And woman, you acting up? I acting up? Yes, and you know why I didn't tell you, man? It's because of your stupid attitude, man.
My stupid attitude?
Yes.
You come this early morning pulling cutlass at me, right?
It's a play by Francis Uriah Peters, together with a nostalgic folk musical journey, plus the Tivoli Drummers at Spice Basket, Wednesday, February 6th. Tickets from Grenadian Optical and Kittens Drug Mart at $40 each. Children 12 and under, $25 at the door. It's a special independence production of drama, folk music, and dance, produced by Uriah Peters, Wednesday, February 6th at Spice Basket, 8:30 p.m.
Government follows through on promise to increase ex-gratia payment. Details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back with the news for Monday, February 4th, 2019. I am Sherry Ann Noel. Government makes good on its promise of an increase in ex gratia payments to a minimum of $350 from January 2019. Daily paid workers who have given 15 years of continuous service to the government and have reached the age of retirement now have some extra money in their coffers. 280 pensioners fall in that category. Accountant General Mrs. Quinta Charles says the payment, which will be made monthly, began at the end of January.
This commitment has resulted in an increase in payment for 280 pensioners. And previously, the calculation for this payment would have been based on the daily rate of pay and the amount of years continuous service. However, with this minimum of $350 that we have now implemented, this has resulted in an increase of around $44,000 per month payment to these 280 individuals, and annually about $500,000.
Ms. Charles says the 280 pensioners have also benefited from the 4% increase that other public servants received at the end of January.
In addition to the increase of $350, which these 280 persons received at the end of January, we also increased that amount by the 4% increase that all persons would have received from January 2019. So these individuals, in fact, received $364 in January and going forward.
She says government maintains its commitment to the people of the country. There is no resilience without teamwork. The words of Catholic Bishop Clyde Harvey, who addressed Sunday's 45th Independence Anniversary Ecumenical Service under the theme Building Resilience, Enhancing Social and Economic Transformation. The service was held at the Anglican Church in St. George's. The Catholic bishop says resilience requires teamwork and collaboration in order for it to be effective, and he charged the leaders of government to be more effective team players in leading a resilient state.
But if we're talking resilience, we are talking team. We are talking working together. We are talking never thinking that this is my game and my game alone, and who not in the game with me out. It is a call to build a team, and I've always thanked my coach for that. And I think anybody who knows any sport that is worthwhile knows that that is one of the things that you learn from a good coach, the importance of being able to work as a team.
Bishop Clyde Harvey also spoke on the subject of transformation and development, saying transformation starts with the people.
We have made a very significant change of language here. We used to say social and economic development. Now we say social and economic transformation, because we have seen that that development very often is not in our best interests. That we can develop and reach a point where all fall down. Development has led us into strange places, because development talks about developing country, developing programs, and so on. Transformation involves the transformation of people. And until you transform people, you cannot transform anything else.
Independence activities will continue with the launch of the National Way Competition on Wednesday. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The pride and joy of a nation is its flag. Its colors and arrangement makes it significant and stunningly beautiful. On Wednesday, February 6th, it's National Colors Day. Every proud Grenadian is asked to deck off in clothing highlighting the colors of our flag. Whether you are dressed for work, daily routines, or casual engagements, showcase the true Grenadian spirit. Every ministry, every department, and all workplaces are encouraged to join in. National Colors Day, Wednesday, February 6, 2019. Endorsed by the National Celebrations Committee. Our people, our colors, our day. On Wednesday, February 6th, National Colors Day.
Welcome back. The new ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt to Grenada wants to see a deepening of relations that will lead to increased benefits for both countries. His Excellency Khalid Sifala expressed that desire when he presented his credentials to Governor General Dame Cecile La Grenade on Friday.
I'm very honored and pleased to be here, to be received by you, to present my credentials as Ambassador of Egypt. Very friendly country and very friendly people here. Thanks a lot, and I hope that our relations will be increased and develop much more.
Governor General Her Excellency Dame Cecile La Grenade said Grenada has benefited from technical cooperation in various fields since 2001.
Egypt has offered assistance to our nationals to increase their knowledge in various fields since 2001 and as recently as 2018. Some of these areas of assistance have included training in the field of experimental statistics and the use of computers in the interpretation of the results, exchanging scientific and technical information in the fields of computer and experimental statistics, exchanging public papers in the field of experimental statistics and agriculture, exchanging scientific visits and experts in the field of agriculture. Recently, we have not taken up any of these scholarships, but we hope to remedy this in the near future.
Grenada and Egypt have enjoyed cordial and cooperative diplomatic relations since September of 1976. Meanwhile, during a courtesy call from His Excellency, Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell spoke of the historical relationship between Grenada and Egypt. Dr. Mitchell also expressed an interest in building a stronger relationship between the two countries. He commended Egypt's role in international affairs through fostering a more stable and peaceful environment. The ambassador-designate commended the Grenadian Prime Minister for the country's record growth in recent years. He noted the significant investment in the tourism industry by Egyptian investors and expressed the hope that it will help to spur investment by other investors from his country as a means of deepening the relationship between both countries. And finally, how much do we know about how the brain works? 15 finalists will face each other in the grand finale on March 16th at the St. George's University, following the completion of the zonal round of competition. The winner will represent Grenada at the international level of the competition. Details from Annette Moore.
A nerve cell is also called a soma. That's incorrect. A neuron? That is correct.
This is the 10th year of the competition. The zonal competitions began on January 9th at the J.W. Fletcher Memorial Catholic School, moving on to the Grenada Boys Secondary School and ending at Westmoreland Secondary last Wednesday, January 23rd. This year, 6 participants instead of 3 advanced from each zonal competition to the finals. James Stanislaus and Tia Patrice will represent the Hillsborough Secondary School, Giovanni Thomas, the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary, Nakesh Andal, Wester Hall Secondary, and Corey Boyd represents the Presentation Brothers College. Wesley College and Hillsborough Secondary are represented by 2 students each, Camille Barry and Rashid Cromwell, and James Stanislaus and Tia Patrice, respectively. The Westmoreland Secondary and the Grenada Boys Secondary School each have 4 representatives, the highest number per school overall. Representing Westmoreland Secondary are Akiba Keaton Bain, Nafisa Bahayat, Eli Zerpa, and Naomi Danshrud. The Grenada Boys Secondary School is represented by Daryl Hines, Sekou Sam, Aim Chase, and Joshua Duncan. The National Brain Bee competition focuses on neuroscience, and the preparation is intense, with students having to learn and retain a large volume of information and facts about the brain, its functions, and more.
The site of release of neurotransmitters is called That's incorrect. That is correct.
The zonal competition consists of 2 phases of quizzing based on material from the Brain Facts book.
The myelin producing cells in the peripheral nervous system are called Schwann cells. That is correct.
The Chief Judge is Dr. Karen Blackman, and the Quizmaster of almost 5 years is Dr. Gabrielle Walcott-Bedeau. This year also marks Caracou's re-emergence into the competition. For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
With this, we come to the end of the National Report for Monday, February 4th, 2019. Recapping the top story. Government follows through on promise to increase ex gratia payment. I am Sherry Noel.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Quad Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank, and there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
With free island-wide delivery, Hubbard's Building Supplies and Lumber Departments continue to provide the best quality lumber, steel, tiles, plumbing materials, electrical and general hardware supplies at competitive prices. We continually consult with builders, homeowners and contractors to improve product range and services. Enjoy discounts where applicable, including the use of credit and debit cards. At Hubbard's Building Supplies, Grandance and Lumber Department, Caranage, we offer quality service, affordable prices, giving you the convenient, reliable, free island-wide delivery. Call 440-2087 for all your home improvement and building solutions.
Alrighty, folks, it's 21 minutes away from 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I think it is. He's here. Mr. Roberts is here, man. I told you he was... Forget about this electronic phone thing, calling into George on Zoom and all that. Nah, man, he's sitting right here, and we're going to be talking with him in a minute. Hear him breathing heavily there? That's that's right. But before I get to Ray, let me get back here to Facebook for a minute. Margaret was watching Sick or No Sick. This woman is continually very astute. She was watching the GIS report a little while ago, and she says, GIS, there's something called writing to video. If you're not going to reference a picture or video, then it shouldn't be there. Sheesh. And I could just see her. Sheesh. Margaret, Margaret, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, used to work with the GIS, right? I think so. Ray is shaking his head in agreement, yeah. Margaret, as soon as I can afford it, I'm going to get you back down here. all right? But you promised me that you'll have to spend some of your time with me here as well. Okay, here he is. Take a look. Take a look. There he is. Huh? Look at that Tuesday morning smile. Rara is in the house. Ray, good morning, sir. How you
Good morning to you, George, and to all your wonderful Facebook and YouTube and wherever they are listeners. Great to be with you. It's a beautiful Tuesday, as you quite rightly said.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And you know, I don't. Well, you're probably on your way here, so you didn't hear us. But I was telling our listeners this morning that our mutual friend. Oh, hold on a sec. Margaret just says here on Facebook, yep, my first job was at GIS. See?
Yeah.
She did work with a GIS.
I remember that.
And by the way, Judy Benoit is online with us as well. Judy, long time no see, girl. What happened? You divorced me or what? Huh? Come on, Judy. Don't be so distant. Come on, man. Come on back and see us soon. Yeah. Ray, Margaret had an accident on the weekend. She is doing fine. She's
All
on
right.
I mean, look, she's there on Facebook this morning. But do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi to Margaret?
Well, I certainly want to wish her the very best. I hope it's not something that would handicap us for that long. But from her enthusiasm on Facebook, I don't know that she's even injured.
Boy, let me tell you, nothing keeps Margaret down.
Right.
Nothing. Not only is she a loyal friend, let's talk about somebody who loves this country, cares about this country, and who she's meticulous. She's the sort of, I don't know if it's fair to call her a perfectionist, but
well, you're right about perfection.
she likes to see things done the right way.
Well, that's a trait that I can testify to.
Yeah. So we should bring her back, eh?
Well, you have the cash to pay the bill?
And by the way, she's saying, hi, Ray.
Good morning.
Yeah. And Sharon is also saying good morning to you, Sharon Roberts.
Yes, and I had a call from my husband giving me a lot of licks.
Giving you licks?
Yes. Well, I said he was the only West Indies cricket supporter with guts to just travel around the Caribbean. He tells me already he's booked for England for the World Cup.
I know. Ray, this man phoned as soon as the match ended.
That's correct.
He phoned me too.
As soon as the fourth wicket fell, I was about to drive out the house. I got a call from him. I said, I was hoping it's not you.
Well, you know, he may. I'm not sure that he's going to make it because he does have a lecture to do tomorrow morning. But when Sharon comes in here tomorrow morning,
right,
he promised me he's going to try to be here with us. Okay?
He's the most loyal cricket supporter
What?
I've ever come across. He has never uttered anything to me other than optimism about West Indies cricket.
He was in here a few weeks ago and just about made a convert out of me. I mean, by the time the guy was through with me, I was ready to buy tickets for every West Indies match. Hey, listen, so what are you talking about this morning? You talking about labor? You talking about cricket? What are you talking about?
Well, there were so many things on my mind that I would maybe just venture to dip into a couple of them. Obviously, we have to salute the West Indian cricketers. They have created a series out of what was actually a non-series when it started. I also felt they were going to be winless in all formats of the game, Test Series, ODI, and T20.
Oh, you did?
I felt they were going to be winless. I mean, they came back from Bangladesh and India, I mean, not attracting even spectators. I don't think the players, the girlfriends and wives of the players, I don't think they were attracted. They were so badly beaten. But without a doubt, I mean, you couldn't ask for more. I mean, I spent a lot of time, well, not a lot in the first test because I was suspicious. But in the Antigua test, I thought it was West Indies of old. And, you know, it brought back the memories of the Richards era, the Clive Lloyd era. I mean, when we really had a team that made us Caribbean people. I mean, these guys are making us proud, but in those days we were top of the line. So I think we're going to see something special when they get to Grenada.
Well, I want to ask you about that.
Yeah, people are going to come out in larger numbers. the government may spend less money on buying tickets to fill the stadium as they do in the small island, which is very disgusting in any case. I could see you doing that for school children, but for, just to fill a stadium to create, an atmosphere, I don't think it's well, in capitalism, that's not the right thing in any case. But I'm not capitalist in any case. But I look forward to a whitewash, winning that final game starting Saturday in St. Lucia. Look forward to a whitewash. I also want to mention that in spite of the controversy that exists around school sports, we had track blazers from St. David's. I didn't go there, but I had friends who went there in St. David's, staging their annual athletics meet, because we in the outdoor season here in Grenada in the Caribbean, and from all indication it was a well done sports meet.
Stick a pin there. We're going to get into those sports, but just before we leave the cricket thing, first of all, Glennon Knights is saying a special good morning to you, and your buddy T.F. Richards is also saying hi. But let me ask you this: what do you think? We believe in miracles, okay? What brought about that victory? Or those two victories in the West Indies? Is it that their administration has improved? Is it that we just go in cycles and, well, we are on a little upturn here? What is it?
Well, I think I would say 2 or 3 things that have, to me, extremely positive. They were traveling November, December to India, Bangladesh. So they were constantly playing cricket. They were kept active. That's one for me. The second point is we have the 4-day tournament playing as I knew it when I was a little boy during the series of a visiting team. The Caribbean tournament, that's the 4-day tournament, will continue so people who are aspiring to make the team can prove themselves, and people who want to stay in the team will have to work to earn their places. Prior to that, we had some dumb thing to me that didn't make sense. I don't know how anybody could have seen the value in that. Picking a team, going to some camp. I mean, there's no pressure in a camp, actually. You, the coach, and the staff, I don't know what pressure that creates. So to me, the competition ahead of the England series took them to where they are, along with the quality of pitches that we have prepared. I think you have to give the curators, as they call themselves now. We used to call them pitch people fixing pitches. Now they are curators. They have done a very good job, I would say, an excellent job creating conditions like they do in England, like they do in Australia, to suit our bowlers. And clearly, England had quality bowlers, but our bowlers, to me, use the conditions that they perhaps knew best, and they exploited it. So that, and a second factor too, England came here. You remember a thing, George? I don't know if in your days, a nursery rhyme. Grief come to those who boast the most. Right. Well, the commentators, the analysts, even the administrators said it was a mediocre team. They were here for a walk in the park, and it's a warm-up series to face Australia in the Ashes. So I think all of that contributed to England complacency and a fired up West Indies.
You know, the editorial in the Grenada Advocate last weekend, they pounded the commentators, because some disparaging remarks were made about Holder.
Well, let's put it this way. I don't have problems with journalists and commentators. I'm writing this week that grief come to those who boast the most. I mean, I would make some comments about boycott and the whole England team. But I think we have to understand that flair in writing is part of it. I mean, let's face it, the West Indies didn't look like a team that could beat anybody. So, you can't, yes, you have to be respectful, but reporters are there to create stories that I will assume that would, well, to me, create some kind of following in the media.
Okay. Just before we move away from cricket, Sharon, let me tell you, you better change your attitude towards the West Indies. I'm telling you right now. Because Sharon says, you must have faith in the team. They won the first test by 381 runs, and the second by 10 wickets. Come on, let us go to the games when they get here.
Well, I have no doubt Sharon, partner, has done a wonderful job. She is a convert now, he told me. In fact, he said to me, After his lecture in England, he said it falls so nicely that the West Indies is playing a day or two after. So from the lecture, he's going to go straight to World Cup cricket, and he's predicting again West Indies will do something that will surprise the world. So I'm waiting.
Okay. Get back now to what you were
Yes, I
telling us.
was saying athletics. It's good to see that apart from the Athletic Association, they have started some development games. I mean, it's more community-based, exposing, I suppose, not I'm supposing, exposing young athletes who are aspiring for CRIFT and other national teams. So despite the seemingly controversy, the government will have a games or the government will stage games around the country. The people who are rightfully promoting track and field, they are doing their job. And I think those who are aspiring to make national teams or to set records or to do something in sports, I think they're going about it unconcerned about the fact that we're making a hype out of no intercol and no primary school sports. I think, you know, we are going to see a fair number of track and field events that I'm sure will attract men, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but good crowds.
So, in short, you're saying these secondary school games will be a success?
No. I think that's going to be a successful failure in the sense that
successful failure.
Okay. You see, you have to be careful when you're doing things like that. I love sports. I'm passionate about sports.
I know.
But it's not a sensible thing, not an intelligent thing for the state to want to organize in defiance of the people who promote these things. Because remember, they're going to be long-term a repercussion. You know? Let's take, for example, if on the day some of the officials here, depending on a turnout with a sick leave in mass, yes, you could use community people or people who don't know about it. But you want, when you do something, you have the best administrators, the best timekeepers, the best starters. You want this sort of perfect atmosphere that prevails. You don't want controversy. So that's why I'm saying that if I were part of the government or to advise the government, I would say I would not try to have my own games, but I would work with the Athletic Association because they're going to have the national championship. It is part of their commitment to the International Federation and to CRIFT games and to all events to have these events. So I would work with them, and I'm sure the same people are going to participate. Now I'm meeting young children, I'm meeting parents whose children are not going to be there. So will the government go and arrest them all and bring them to some playing field? That don't make intelligent sense. It has nothing really for Grenada in the future other than animosity going forward for a while.
You know, I think
remember West Indies cricket did that same foolishness when the players decided to strike. The administrators say, look, we'll find a second team. They even played a game here. There was nobody in the park. Yeah. Yes, they played Bangladesh, beat them here, but there was nobody watching the game. It had no serious coverage. The controversy got the coverage. So that's what people are going to be looking to see, the nonsense that you created. Some person you make into a starter, you know, is he doing a good job? Or will he do a good job?
You know, I think it was the editorial in the New Today this past week, and I was asking the question, you know, what would the minister, and I would imagine by extension the government, do if the kids decided to boycott the games? Would action be taken against them?
Well, what you could do?
Well, yeah. What could you do?
Yeah, what could you do?
And he was also suggesting that government is actually placing the kids in a very difficult situation. Because if the kids, let's assume that the kids go out and support the games, the next day they have to go into the classrooms and face those very same teachers.
Well, let's put it like that. I'm sensible enough to know that the real athletes, if they have to be there, they will just show up. They won't show up with any enthusiasm. Because the thing is stupid, it is idiotic, it makes no sense. Look, I played sports, I played tennis, I still play competition. So in fact, Saturday we had a wonderful independent table tennis tournament. There were 62 kids under 18 playing in the tournament. And they were there, enthusiasm. The Grenada Table Tennis Association organized it. They didn't have any school tournament in December because of the industrial thing. It didn't take away from the children participation. No, had the government done that, it might have been a different atmosphere. So that's what I'm saying. Really and truly, I've never seen a lapse in good judgment like I'm seeing right now in Grenada. Because the Athletic Association is hosting a national junior championship. So speak to them and say, could you extend it to, we'll provide transportation or whatever. So these kids get whatever. But when you go to organize a sport in Oban playing field somewhere, I'm understanding, for the South, and you get 2 people to, make some, whatever it is, it really has no standing.
Well,
No time, no record, none of the throws, the distances, nothing will have any standing because it doesn't have credibility from the parent body.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just go and compete for something that really doesn't have any standing.
Just another one of the decisions of our beloved administration, which leaves us bewildered.
Well, I'm just surprised that there are people who know better and could advise better, because that's a good advice. There's no need for creating this harmony. It's like that thing with the football. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, I like Cheney, and I don't know why they wanted to remove him. But he gets a lawyer, the other side gets a lawyer, and they started on Facebook to determine who is going to heaven, because this is the evil group. Now, let me ask you, George, I'm not leaving Grenada. So if you call me evil, I ain't going, and I know you ain't going. But we have to work together. So things like that. They took a decision, 5-3. You take it to the international parent body, and they, with time, will make a judgment that both sides have to abide with. But once you start with this bringing in lawyer issuing ultimatum for Monday, and the other lawyer will say, well, look, you know how these people operate, make big statements. So we're not winning anything, we're losing everything. Yeah. So that is another thing I hope that the people on the 2 sides of the football war, because it's a war, can make amends. But right now, I mean, this ultimatum from one lawyer to another, I don't know how the game is being helped. I don't know how sports is being helped by, again, idiotic behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be nice to come and sit here one of these days when we really didn't have to discuss the TV in this place.
Yeah, well, I hope we could talk about, the wonderful talents that we are seeing in so many of the sports. I hope, let me finally say, I hope the Olympic Committee and others could recognize what is happening and do more training programs that would take people away from disputes that not going to help the sport in the future. Because whether you like it or not, the entire GFA executive, they're going to be in Grenada in football for the next how many years. So you don't want to create sides, you want to create some form of unity. So the less you determine who is evil and who is good, I think the sports will be better.
All right, Ray, thank you very much. By the way, just before she ain't done yet. Just before we go, Sharon says, Jeffrey Boycott was correct, though. The British fans have a lot of time to go to the beaches. Yeah?
Sharon is monitoring them.
Yeah, but Sharon.
She's putting pen to paper. Yeah. I hope she gets it in the Guardian in England.
I think
that's a nice piece.
I think I'm being forewarned that when she comes in here tomorrow, I'd better have a little extra time. Oh yeah,
she is the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. Yeah. When is the Super Bowl?
It's gone.
It's gone?
New England won.
How come it was so low profile this year?
Well, it was huge in the sense that I wanted New England lose because they have won it so many times. But the Rams didn't look like a team that could beat New England. Brady and quarterback Brady, 41 years old. I like that because he's now considered a aging veteran. So I was happy that he was able to do what he did to take the New England Patriots to a victory. But I really wanted the Rams win because they had the youngest coach ever to reach the Super Bowl.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Ray.
Good.
Thanks, sir. Okay, folks, this is just going to take us, it's 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I know some of you folks have to go to work, you know. You got things to do, but thank you so much for spending some time here with us this morning. I'm going to wrap it up as we always do with a parting word from the Holy Scriptures. Let's see, one last look at Facebook here. Nothing on Facebook. This comes to you, for those of you who may be holding a grudge. Those of you who may be holding a grudge, I want you to listen to this. It's a passage from Psalm 37, verses 8, 9, and 10. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It only leads to evil. For those who are evil will be destroyed, but those whose hope is in the Lord will inherit the land. A little while, and the wicked will be no more. Though you look for them, they will not be found. Have a heavy heart? Remember that passage, Psalm 37, verses 8, 9, and 10. Pilgrims, Georgie Porgy is going to run away now as Ray relieves himself of his headphones. And to those of you out there on Facebook, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Do appreciate it, as always. Georgie Porgy is going to send you God's blessings, and by his grace, let we get together again tomorrow morning.